Future flavors.
Yo, Pittsburgh, what is the deal? It's your boy Cold Blooded. We live at Win 1073, Pittsburgh's #1 home for hip hop and R&B. It's another segment of the Future Flavors show, and we got someone who represents the future of the podcast world in the building. This person has been on the up and up. Coming up, as you can see on the screen, got the whole green screen backdrop, chilling. It's a whole vibe on his show, doing his thing. The host, CEO, owner of Spark Chill Cast. We got JAMIL in the building.
Appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. You know, I love doing what I do, though. Like I'm saying, that podcast, linking up with people, it makes me feel better in what I do, and actually knowing people want to do things. And I feel like they be needing that support. They need to be heard. Everyone needs to be heard. Everyone's doing something,
right?
And like no one's really being able to market or network or get themselves out there. So I try to continue to push to meet people, talk to people, and even if you shoot music videos, I'm like behind the scenes. I'm sometimes even in the videos, just to show support within our music artists, photographers, videographers of all genre. Like you can name it. I participate with anybody to support them.
What are some of your favorite music videos that you've been in?
Most definitely is gonna be Bruce Lee's.
Which one? The latest one?
No, he ain't even dropped it yet, so I can't even say it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, he dropped the song, but he ain't dropped the video yet.
All right, not the one where you got all the blue paint and stuff on.
No, not that one. No, not that one.
All right.
This one should be like dropping in, he said, like the winter time.
Okay.
So like probably in the next 2 months.
All right, so you're part of the media rollout then?
Oh, of course.
Okay. So just to backtrack, how'd you come up with the name for the show?
Well, I came up with the name of the show. It was me and my friend. We started working together. We ended up having those ideas to like want to know what we're doing with ourselves in the future. What are you going to be doing? What do you want to do? We shared some like-minded things, and we got into thinking of, all right, let's start a business where we're helping people, but at the same time, let's try to get it be seen. He was into streaming with games, and I was in with like networking and marketing and supporting people. And therefore, we were like, well, what should we do? Should we like stream something? What should we call it? Call it a podcast, a chill podcast. It was just so simple. I'm like, well, what are we gonna be doing? He was like, well, you know, we just chill, we vibe, we play music, you know, we just vibe out. And so much with that, it came out with, okay, well, we're going to chill cast. It's just a chill cast. I'm like, well, no, that's still simple. But then like Spark Chill Cast actually came where it was more of an earthly thing, where we enjoy both sides of both cultures that involve, I would say, smoking and non-smoking.
Okay.
Because it's more became of like a friendly conversational thing where it doesn't even have to involve sparking, smoking. It could involve just chilling out with vibing out with the music.
Right.
But usually like people, I'm saying my friend always lit incense. So like I'm saying, you're always sparking something.
Right.
And we just chill. It's not playing a game, conversating. It just became like something that we always end up sparking something, a candle. Then that's when we started like buying people's candles that were black owned.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, you know what? Let's just get on the podcast and start, you know, supporting people. And we went with Spark Chill Cast.
All right. So what was it like? Before I ask you that, where are you from originally?
I'm from the north side.
North side?
Yeah.
Anywhere specific?
Up by like Perry. I'll say up there. Up by Perrysville.
Okay. What was it like coming up there?
That was a good. It was interesting, I say. Mix of both worlds. I'm saying the north is separated by like. We were just speaking about this a couple of days ago. A couple of my friends. That the north is separated by like cultures, and it's weird because it's by block. So you might have like people that are cool, neutral, and then people that you won't even see outside at all in the next block. And then it'll come back to you start seeing kids and people being outside cutting their grass, and then you don't see people at all. So like it was interesting coming up, but like as a kid it was great because we had that child lifestyle that the kids don't have now too much.
Or like riding bikes, really
Right.
playing outside,
Really
playing in the
being
woods or something.
Really being outside, enjoying life, I should say, instead of like being, forced into life that we have in front of us.
Yeah.
And I say that's electronics, but I'm saying it's not bad, I would say, but it's like there's more to it that they could be doing, even if they take the electronics outside. Like you could be doing a lot of things with it.
All right. So, where'd you end up going to school?
Went to Brashear High School.
What was Brashear like?
It was lit. I won a championship my 9th grade year. Started football varsity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lit. We actually beat Shenley, I think, in the championship.
What was it? What position you played?
Receiver, kick return, punt return,
Okay.
safety. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm saying I had to fight to get that position. Actually, it wasn't easy, especially with a lot of people that we had on our team. Some are in the NFL, some still play, professional football. But
Who made it to the NFL?
John Wetzel.
Okay.
The Wetzels. Vanessa Gardner did play a little bit. I don't know if you know of him. Okay, Vanessa Gardner's another one. There's Jermaine Robinson, another one. There's a couple, actually. It goes back. Like we had a nice couple people that played in Brashear, but sports back in the day wasn't like how it was now. And that, we speak about that too, is another thing on a podcast. Like they're like literally given opportunities for participating and actually putting in the effort. But like before, a lot of people could be putting in effort but would not even get recognized. And therefore it hit people to where the point where, am I going to continue playing this sport or what am I going to be doing next? And I feel like a lot of people gave up on their athletic instincts to continue pushing and going. And I wouldn't even say just on life things, but if we had more opportunities like they were having now, then I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have, I would say, went the road that they went, actually. And they would have probably continued doing what they wanted to do at that time, which eventually you evolve and grow into being that type of person. But it takes, risk, chances.
Creating your own opportunity.
Exactly. Just creating your own opportunity. That takes a lot, though. Like I enjoy talking that with a lot of people, hearing different opinions on what they do, what they went through, to be in those positions. But yeah, that was for sure.
So you said you're into marketing and communications. Did you end up going to college for that?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Nope. I went for athletic training, sports medicine.
Yeah, where at?
IUP.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What was it like there? How long did you stay there? Say a year?
I was there for 2 years until my grandmother got sick with cancer. I came back home to take care of my grandmother, and I actually finished off school here at CCAC.
Okay.
But up there, it was lit. I was actually playing football. The life was like home away from home. Like, it's just like a place that you want to be, but then it's like you can control yourself at the same time because your home is here, and then the life that you want to go out to and be around is down the block or a couple minutes away, and you don't have to worry about how far it is or who's if you're going to make it, drive or this or that, because you'll always feel safe because people looked out for you. So it was most definitely it was lit. I'm saying the parties were crazy.
Yeah, I heard. I wish I would have made my way up there when I was in school to go to a party. I never went to IU Patties or none of that.
Oh really?
Yeah, never.
Yeah, it's
lame as hell.
It was lit up there. Every block, the bars. You ain't never seen so much green on the street until you went up there. And that was even before Pittsburgh even had their big St. Patty's breakout downtown, and it was always crazy at IUP. People would come from other colleges too, Penn State, Pitt, come to just IUP just to celebrate with the students there.
So how do you feel these days when it comes to podcast and interview culture now being like the new news and new media outlets? Because we see lots of places like Vlad TV, No Jumper, The Breakfast Club, go from just casual conversations to really being like the news and being the update constantly. Like our phones are updated with a bunch of articles and things related to pop culture.
Yeah.
So how do you think about that transition?
That transition and that's been happening. I feel like it's when it actually happened. A lot of people were still delayed on it because they weren't actually used to it, happening. And like since it's been consistent with like these podcasts that you named, No Jumper, Vlad, we can go into the Drink Champs. We can go to all the way down the road to even Carisha Show. Into all of these podcasts that have been going on, and a lot of people even name what the all-time longest with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And like, it's like podcasts were been around, but they weren't updating in the culture. It was more so there were interviews, conversations, and if you were tuned into that or if you were interested into that stuff, that's the only way that you were, you followed along. But once you start seeing more insight behind the scenes or stuff that you wouldn't even hear on the news, it was like, okay, well, more so let me actually check out these podcasts because they're giving information that the news isn't really giving until a certain time of the day. Or they're posting on the internet that you really can't see unless you go on their page. And that is where podcasts are actually taking a big leap and advantage onto stations nowadays, I feel, because they're starting to actually get involved more with the culture. And I'm not going to say like stations aren't busy, but trying to be involved with the culture and the community at the same time as run the business for the people, the community, to hear at the same time, because you have to have that team. You got to have that marketing, that marketing team basically to keep on going, keep on pushing you. At least get people involved or even see how they can support one another, because it's very hard, I should say, from my own perspective, because I'm saying now, I stated earlier that I was doing it with another co-host, but now it's just me doing the podcast myself, starting all over basically, but still continuing with my content and the same work that I do. And it will be a new name too.
Oh yeah, so it's not Spark Chill anymore.
No, this is after today. This is gonna be a new name, and I let everybody know that too. That it's only gonna be dropping today.
All right, can we get the exclusive?
You can get the exclusive, of course. Because I was saying I make my own music too. That's gonna be on there. I won't have to worry about no copyrights of anything. Everything is made, all the edits, all the animations, the music, it's all gonna be done by me. I own the rights to it as well. So, but it's gonna be called the C.A.P. The Chill Ass Podcast. Most definitely gonna be lit. We'll have more people on there. We're gonna be talking with entrepreneurs within real estate, people that are actually flipping cars, flipping property. I was doing basic like the local people in our community, but now I'm gonna up it to where we're gonna still do the local people that are upcoming, but at the same time those businesses that have been out here that have not been heard, that have not been seen. I'm gonna get the interview personal up in front with them as well. Wherever it is, I'm gonna be there at the shop. I could be anywhere, and most definitely the music, the vibe is still going to be the same. And you most definitely can chill, tune in on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere you could think about. I'm gonna have it on, and I'm gonna make sure we do it the right way this time and keep going. I have a lot of people waiting for me to come back out. I did 3 seasons. Season 4 is about to come out actually. I'll say in November. So.
And y'all episodes are really long. Like I got 2-hour, almost 3-hour interviews though. What made you guys want to do that?
All right. So and that was the thing. So when we started off with like doing long interviews because we were just vibing and the conversation was just so great. And if like you don't even have to watch, you can just like listen and like hear like I actually agree with what he's saying because I feel this type of way, to the point where I was trying to get us to lessen it down to like an hour. We did a couple of episodes where they were hours, some episodes were an hour and a half. The most they started to push to was 2. I try not to push it to no more than that because
It must suck having to like render that and like
It
like extracted.
It most definitely did suck. It bothered me at the same time as having to try to continue keeping doing, like continuously to do that.
Right.
So like, and then we weren't doing like one episode a week too. Like a lot of people weren't noticing that we were doing probably 2 to 3 episodes a week, and you know, it just became like, okay, we got to break this time down, because now the more that we do this, we got to understand our time management when we're doing this, because you know, setting up, breaking down, making sure that, you know, mics, audio, everything is set up and
I used to
off.
do 4 to 5 interviews a week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like from December to like March, I was trying to do 4 and 5 every single week.
How that feel?
It felt good. It felt like I'm utilizing more of my day for something.
Right.
It definitely got annoying having to edit all these videos, and like it was like a revolving door, people coming in and out.
Right.
But then it also let me experience people canceling, people folding, people being late, and it taught me to like try and create some value, because people thinking they could just show up a half hour late, and you requested this. I'll put my time aside for you to do this. I'm not getting paid to do it, and you gonna be late, and expect to, you know, I've had it like, oh, you should, I want to interview, please, can I get an interview? Okay, cool, schedule it. Oh, I'm sorry, I woke up late. Hey, you know what, it's cool, we could do next week. Hey, my hair's not done, you know, I don't play when it comes to this, and that. It's like, okay, well, you say you don't play, but you overslept for one, and now your hair's not done, but you knew this was scheduled. So now it's like, you know, where we go from here.
And that's where I'm saying I felt like a lot of us, you know, hosts and podcasts, even creators, have to deal with that. You know, we really shouldn't, because if you're actually serious about what you want, and people are actually taking, you know, accountability for what they really want to do, like if they're saying they want this interview, or if they want to do it, then show some, you know, show some standards that you really do want to do this, and you know, have yourself set, be prepared, like, because you know, you know, you might be able to slide one time, but like the next time it's like, okay, like, do I really want to make sure I try to set up another time with this person? And you know, a lot of us had to deal with that, you know, going through this stuff. You know, it's, you know, it sucks, but it helps us, you know, learn and, you know, gain some strengths out of this business as well.
What was the reason you wanted to switch and go solo? Not switch up in a negative way, but you wanted to switch things around with your interview route. To go from having a co-host to it just being you and changing the name.
Well, I'm saying I'm going to be doing it myself. I wanted to change the name because the logo and the image displays two people, which everyone does know me being with that person. And we are not actually doing any work. There's actually a lot of fallout. There was a big fallout between me and that person.
Okay.
And you know, we just wanted to. Well, I just wanted to continue doing what I enjoy doing, and they had a different feel for what they were doing, and there wasn't no agreement to that, and that caused a big fallout. But it was just like, okay, well, me going forward, if I want to continue doing this, I want to continue doing interviews. I want to continue to try to uplift, you know, our community, our culture that feels like they're not being heard or they're not being seen, only if they're taking it serious. And at the end of the day, like you said, if you know that you're going to probably cancel, you know, just let me know that you know, it's going to be a hard time trying to schedule me, because I'm going through things. That's better. Better to be honest than, you know, just tell me, okay, you just schedule me the next time. Because I take what I do serious, as well as I feel like people in their own business, they would take what they're doing serious as well. But I'm not going to just be doing it by myself. I will be having some people that were interested in hosting, just doing it in general. So I'm giving them an opportunity to feel the vibe and see how it is to actually host, ask questions, you know, fill out the vibe, the energy, to see if they can do this, or if they want to continuously to do this.
Sometimes it makes it easier, like for the guests that you have, just to have like an extra body in the room.
That's true. They feel more comfortable. And that's where, like, I'm also going to be bringing a lot of guests that I had back from previous seasons to come back on, because I'm doing a lot of like games. I'm going to be doing topics, top of the hour type of the thing, or like every 15 minutes I'll be doing something. Since it's going to be an hour podcast, that's all.
Okay. All right. What are your thoughts on the Pittsburgh podcasting scene?
I see it growing. I most definitely see it growing. I feel like a lot of us recognize each other, but we don't know that. Like we notice each other, but we're not recognizing each other. And with that, in our type of business, we need to be able to support or, give a nice backbone in our business, because there's not a lot of us that are actually doing what we're doing here. And with that being said, we're actually being able to help our community. There might be, I'm saying, a nice handful, probably 2 handfuls in Pittsburgh, and that's it. And that's based on being consistent. That's based on actually doing this work, and instead of just saying, I do it, and you don't really see nothing, because what we do isn't easy, not at all. Like I'm saying, people ask me every day, like, it shouldn't be that hard. Like, what you do ain't that. I know you have more fun than anything, and I'm like, well, you can have fun in this, but there's going to be a lot of work that you got to do to get to that fun. And that's where all that time and work comes from, being consistent, and then building strengths and learning from your weaknesses.
What's one of your goals for 2023? We got about 2 months left in the year. Sure. 2.5 right now. 2.5.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that a couple days ago. My goals for next year, starting the year.
Starting the year, yeah. Starting the year next year, just period.
Period. Well, next year. Going into next year, I actually have a couple more interviews actually outside the state, with other radio stations, down Texas, Florida. Going over to North Carolina. I'm doing a podcast interview over there. So I'll be doing trips throughout this year, going into next year. But I'm also I'm actually doing a podcast collab with someone, so anybody sports related will be having those conversations in a nice group like LeBron and them be doing.
Like with the shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that. A lot of athletes here were agreeing to do that and wanting to come on the podcast with me. But there's so many of them here. So I'm going to do something special for that. Doing a cross collab with that. It's going to be called Take One and Know One. And we'll have athletes on there talking about what they go through as an athlete and as a regular person. And, what we deal with in, our age differences as well.
I hope I'm treading lightly on this. I'm not too, let's say, privy into your personal life, but what's up? What's going on, Chris? That was Chris from KDKA. There's other people here, you know what I'm saying? It goes down up here.
Definitely some decades.
So, I'm going to tread lightly with this question, but is your grandma still alive today?
No.
Okay, sorry to hear.
No, thank you.
What do you think she would say about you being here was she a fan of hip-hop?
She was a fan of culture, the black community and the culture.
So you would say she's privy to WAMA then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think her reaction would be to you being in this position now?
I feel like her reaction, because she was very into church. She was a holy person. Strong Christian, but she gave a lot of belief and hope. And being a person, just being black, I would say, growing up, and being here right now to tell her that will probably make her cry, because in the development of hip hop, the culture, this radio station itself, like, to see how much it all went through in her time until her last breath would just probably been the okay for her to feel that keep doing what you're doing. And there's no turning back from here, really, because you already put in this much work and it's not going unseen. And she always tells me God always sees what you're doing. Don't think it's never being seen. So I always try to remind myself that in whatever I'm doing, if it's not with people or my regular day life. Because now, since I don't have her, I have to remind myself of things that she would say to me whenever I would get into situations, and that would continue to keep me pushing.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I think she would definitely be proud of you too. You're doing all of these interviews, dedicating all this time, really pro bono in a sense to better yourself and you're sticking true to what you're doing, even enough to realize, hey, the group thing is cool, but I gotta go my own route and do my own thing. You know, that's admirable. Not a lot of people are willing to bet on themselves in that way.
That was a hard decision, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of people kept asking me, they're like, well, since you guys aren't together no more, you know, you gonna have me on there, or you gonna have me on there, or you gonna do it yourself? And I'm like, well, I didn't want to try to take a chance with people that weren't prepared for this type of, you know, I say treatment, because this ain't no like you get off of work, you do sign a couple papers and look on the internet a couple minutes. No, this is actually putting in some time on the computer. You're editing, looking at animations, like your eyes start, you know, I start staring at things. I don't even know what I'm staring at. I feel like I see images that I thought of when I scrolled up. So I know it's like really getting there where I know I actually be putting in that time in for what I be doing, and you know, a lot of people actually enjoy that. So they continue to hit me up. They can, I'm saying, even, you know, someone in Chicago actually, we did something for them. They hit us up randomously, and I actually asked my co-host, like, do you know this person? Like, I do not know this person. And Chicago's real good for a lot of things, so I was like, well, you know, let's ask him a couple questions. And he was a music artist. He was actually up and coming. He was actually signed, and he wanted us to promote his album that was dropping. And he donated, you know, $1K to us.
Okay.
Just for the love and support.
That's what's
because,
up.
You know, a lot of people aren't willing to do that for their city or for the people that are there. And like a lot of people do stuff for their family, their bros, and stuff like that. But it isn't just about that. Like I'm saying, you see memes all the time saying like, you know, family could do this, family could do that. Or is family actually supporting you, or is your friend supporting you more? And a lot of people always go in that bat with that. So it becomes another thing. And like you just have to, you know, just put your head down and just keep going. That's it. Because you're gonna go through so much stuff in this business.
Yeah.
So much. Even I've been trolled too. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming through, man. Before we get up out of here, where can the people follow you? Where can they tune in? Where can they get merch? Where can they inquire about getting an interview?
Okay, so most definitely if you follow on, what is it, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
everything,
Twitch, yeah, we're even on Twitch, what is it, Spotify, and Google, and what else is, yeah, for that, and YouTube. All on that will be Spark Chillcast. You just type in SparkChillcast, Spark Chillcast. But as I told you guys today, there will be a new name. It's going to be the C.A.P, the Chill Ass Podcast. The only thing that you have to do is type THECAP. And if you can't find it like that, it's the C.A.P Podcast, Pittsburgh's Chillest Podcast. So that's going to be everything that I just named to you: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Spotify, and Google.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Cold Blooded, another segment of the Future Flavor Show. Be on the lookout for the C.A.P Podcast going down.
You already know.
And we'll see y'all.